Hey everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes to have a little chat today about how we define how we feel about our fitness. It's sort of a theme that I hear a lot in conversations that I have with people. If I just don't feel as strong as I used to be, or I'm not feeling fit, or I'm feeling out of shape these days. And I think a really important place to start when we're kind of having those thoughts or those feelings about exercise or about our bodies or about ourselves is to define our terms, right? So when we say I'm feeling out of shape, what does it mean to be out of shape? How do you define in shape or out of shape? What does it feel like to be in shape or out of shape? If you were to start out of shape and become in shape, how would you know that you've reached that? How do we define those parameters? What does fit mean? What does strong mean, right? So for somebody who's competing in strength sports, they may be like, oh, I'll be strong when I lift X, Y, and Z pounds. But for everyday life, you might need to be able to only do a fraction of that. And in order to be strong, do you have to be the strongest you've ever been in your whole life? Or is that something that kind of changes based on circumstances or goals at the time? I think it's a really important place to begin when we're sort of having those feelings. Is fit a feeling? What value do those things have to us? And can that change at different chapters in our lives? So the time that I'm filming this is the middle of May in 2021. So we've been kind of going through this quarantine lockdown cycle for over a year now. So a lot of people have not had their preferred way of working out. So gyms have been closed and classes haven't been running. A lot of us don't have the luxury of having a full gym setup at home. And so what does that mean about our relationship with exercise, our relationship with our body, and fitness, and our goals for fitness, and what that means to us in our lives? And so I just invite you to spend a little time reflecting on how you're feeling about where you're at this unique time in history and this unique chapter of your life, and see if we can have goals and directions for ourselves while still really centering self-compassion for the situation that we've all been in. That, of course, without access to our favorite locations or our favorite groups or our favorite instructors, things will have changed. And so how do we hold space for, say, knowing that we want to increase our fitness, while still really holding space for ourselves the way we would with others? There's a lot of conversation going on right now, particularly as it relates to weight and body size and body shape and the changes that have happened. And it is a unique opportunity to reflect on those values that we have around bodies and weight and fitness and food, and whether some of the messages that we've learned throughout our lives and beliefs that may have come to us from the media or outside sources, what those have told us, and kind of holding them in contrast to our personal values and where we'd like to be. And there might be a gap. It's not a perfect thing. It's not like, oh, I'm just going to flick the switch and not care about perception and appearance and all of those things. But just investigating that, reflecting on it, having the space to identify what some of those definitions are for us as individuals, and what we might like them to be, and not necessarily knowing that we're there yet or not, but just having that space. So I hope this has been thought-provoking. My goal was to not give you answers, but to invite some reflection. So if you like to journal, you can do that. If you just wanted to listen to me talk, then that's cool too. Have a good one, my friends. Be well.